Hello, everybody. Welcome to Moments with God. And as always, on Moments with God, we spend our moments with God. And today is no exception, but I'm going to focus on the Bible since this is a biblical channel. So I hope you enjoy it. And stick around, subscribe, like the videos, and click the bell icon if you want notification of all the videos that I will be releasing for you. So I'm going to start this series off with Genesis chapter 1. We're going to look at verse 1 all the way until 25, and then we'll do the rest in other videos as well. And on today's show, we are going to be looking at major events that took place while God was creating the world in 6 days, only a week. Now that's awesome. Now that's a God you pray to. He made the world in just a week. But anyway, let's keep going. We're going to be looking at every word that God uttered after he made the world. Let's see what he thinks about his own creation. Okay? And then we're going to reflect and rejoice because God is so good. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just in awe every time I read Genesis chapter 1. I love Genesis because Genesis gives us an idea and it sets the tone for everything that God did. Everything that God did. Why Jesus came, how sin came to be, and why he's coming back, and why we are all here. Now, on the first day, God created day and night, and we see this from verse 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is what it says. Now, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." He just uttered a word, ladies and gentlemen, and there it was. And there was light. God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from darkness. Now, on the second day, God makes heaven. And now he separates the waters between heaven and earth. And we see this, it says, "And God made the expanse and separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse." And then on the third day, God separates land and seas. Now, I don't know what was happening on earth. I don't know if everything was just one mesh or it was just a big blob of mud. But he decided to separate the land and the sea so that they're not one. And he also makes plans. Now we see this in verse 9 as well as 11. Verse 9 says that, "And God said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And there it was. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together he called seas. Now verse 11 says that, "And God said, let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruits, in which is their seed, each according to its kind on earth." And it was so. So God is making the land, God is making the plants, the heavens are here, day and night has appeared, and that's the end of the third day. Now on the fourth day, God is creating the galaxy. He's like, the sky seems pretty empty, so let me do something about this. He is creating the galaxy, and it's so wonderful to read that God created Earth first. You know, when we look at the solar system, we see that the sun is the center of the solar system. But in the Bible, the earth is the center of life. It's where everything began, where everything stood firm first. And then God creates the galaxy. We see this on verse 14, 16, as well as 18, and this is what it says. It says, "And God said, let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day and the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, and let them be lights in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon the earth." Wait a minute. Didn't God create light on the first day? And this day, this light has been creating light upon the earth, day and night upon the earth, for 3 days now, lighting the earth for 3 days before God decides to make the stars and the sun and the moon and everything else within our solar system. So now it begs the question, where does this light come from? What is this light? Well, we know it comes from God, but what is this light that has been lighting the earth for 3 days before God makes the sun? Could it be the Son of God? Could it be Jesus Christ? There is a light that was created on the first day, and this light has been creating light upon the earth, giving the earth light, and it hasn't been switched off. I haven't read anywhere in the Bible where it says, oh yeah, by the way, now we are replacing the first light that God created on the first day with the light that is being given by all the rocks and the moon and the stars and everything and the sun that we see in the universe and in the galaxy. No, this light still remained since in the beginning, since the very first day that God created it. Tell me what you think. Comment down below. It's a very interesting topic. I'd love to hear what you have to say. On the 5th day, God makes the living creatures in the water. He makes the birds. Life now gets to, happen on this beautiful stage that God has set up. And now we have to read and hear what it says. We'll be looking at verse 20 all the way to 22. It says that, "And God said, let the waters swarm with swarms of living creatures." I just love that. "And let the birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the heavens." So God created the great sea creatures and every living creature that moves, with which the waters swarm, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good, and God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth." Imagine if you went on a holiday and you didn't see a bird, or you never saw a whale, you never saw a dolphin, or you went on a cruise, but there was nothing. There was nothing in the waters. The waters were empty. Imagine education. What would happen to all that wonderful careers that have to do with learning stuff about the ocean and oh my goodness. Biologists, what would they study? Just plants? Botany? Botany would be the only biology subject. But now there's birds, and there's life, and there's creatures in the sea. There's all kinds of creatures swimming. There's starfish, and now we have movies made all about the underwater seas, and it's all God, and it's all good, and it's all beautiful. And that's what he says. He says that it was good, and he wants it to just multiply and be great. Now we get to the 6th day. On the 6th day, he creates the living creatures on the land. Okay, he's like, okay, time to make all the beasts, all the livestock, all the creeping things, all of them. Going to the zoo, and you see all these wonderful lions and tigers and bears, and they're so great, and they're so big, and they've got life and energy, and you wonder how they get to live every single day and reproduce, and who feeds them and who takes care of them? It's God. It's God. Yeah. It also makes me wanna get into another topic, which is worrying. I don't worry whenever I read the Bible, because if God can take care of life and make it run so well, then he can surely take care of me. Oh yes. Oh yes, he can. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today. That was Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, all the way until 25. We will read some more on our next video. Remember to subscribe, click the bell icon, and also share this video. Give me a like if you like this video. Share it with somebody you love. Share it with a friend, a neighbor, and enjoy your day. Remember to always have your moments.